Yeah, so my story, I grew up in the family. It was the Orthodox family, but we were just formal, nominal Christians. We went to church. I had the Bible for children at home. I wasn't that easygoing child. I always had fear to communicate with people, and I didn't have friends. I always felt lonely, and I was very depressed almost all the time because of my father and because we lived in one room and my father was addicted to alcohol. It was like a suffering for me, so I couldn't bear it and I cried and I wanted to die, and that just I was really like thinking about committing a suicide each time. But still I needed to move, so God, I think it was God. He led me that way. He led me to Kiev, and here I was like a child, so I was scared. It was my first year of the university. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I hated everyone. And then I met campus, and there was an English club, so I thought, okay, it was a good idea. I could speak English, but I still needed practice. At that time, I didn't know that it was a Christian organization, but we discussed Bible, we read the Gospel. One girl, she invited me to have some further meetings to share the feedback, to help them improve. So it's a good thing, I thought. And then she shared the Gospel with me, so she tried to lead me, so how God can help me and where God is in this story, in the story of my life. At that period of time, I started to look for a church, and when I came, I just felt the atmosphere of the people who loved me, who cared for me, and who loved each other.
Аня – закрытый человек, молчун. То, что она на крещении, на собрании людей смогла рассказывать свое свидетельство и говорить о своей борьбе, говорить о попытке самоубийства. Для меня это то, как Христос, как Евангелие ее меняет. Это то, что ввело ее к открытости. Это то, что ввело ее к тому, что она об этой истории никто не знал. И то, что она могла смело об этом делиться на большую аудиторию, для меня это то, как Господь действует. Мало того, я вам скажу. И я понимаю, это ее огромнейший рост. Если она хочет, не только тогда на крещении говорила об этом, а когда она готова об этом говорить на камеру, понимая того, что это будет какой-то видеоролик, многие люди будут его смотреть, мне это говорит о том, как Господь преображает. Я вижу боль людей, и мне не все равно. И мне хочется ответить на ту нужду, на жизни поломанных людей, на те обстоятельства, трудности, с чем они сталкиваются. И организация новой церкви – это как раз тот лазарет или та больничка, или то место для потерянных душ, для того, чтобы там они могли в свете Писания восстанавливаться, преображаться в образ Христа и жить той жизнью, которую Господь задумал для них. Нужду, видя людей, видя много вызовов, много состояний людей, которые не знают, как справляться со своими проблемами, с депрессией, со страхами в контексте военных действий, то, что происходит на Донбассе. Люди напуганы, коронавирус, многие другие аспекты. И это все побуждало меня к тому, что этому городу нужна еще одна церковь, где могло бы проповедоваться Евангелие, и это был бы ответ на те нужды людей, которые окружают, на то, что я вижу, на хаос, который происходит в Киеве в контексте вот этих жизненных обстоятельств, в которых мы находимся.
Stories like Kostya's are encouraging to me because I'm myself a church planter. And when I went out to plant, I did not have most of those things that he mentioned. I didn't have a community of other planters. I didn't have a lot of training in many of these things. To be quite honest, we launched too early. And it's only by the mercy of God that, things kind of corrected over time and God blessed the plant. But I guess my burden because of that is to help planters now to avoid those types of things if possible, to have them in that community where they can learn from each other, where they can find encouragement, they can find prayer, talk through common challenges. If we were to even shoot for one church per 5,000 people, in Kiev, that means we'd need 1,000 churches. At the moment, there's not anywhere near that. There's maybe 250. And the sad truth is that many churches aren't even thinking about planting. So really, to see the gospel go forward in Kiev, it has to be not just addition of churches, it has to be multiplication of churches. So that is sort of our dream. We believe God's dream for the city of Kiev. As City to City Ukraine, we've kind of been going for about 5 years now. We want to help people like Kostya, other planters, other groups to plant churches, to reach the city together. Our target is we want to see 30 new churches planted by 2030. Just seeing people's lives transformed, seeing those kinds of transformations is just, it's beautiful. It's inspiring. It's why we do this, right? Our desire is to see people who love the gospel, who have a vision for church planting from all kinds of different groups within the city come together for planting churches, for supporting, helping one another, to collaborate with the gospel at the center, to see more and more churches planted like Kostya's that he shared about that are able to reach the city.